Hey there, welcome to Fumble Forward, where we explore turning life's imperfect moments into growth moments. I'm Akuya, your host. Get ready to laugh, maybe shed a tear, but most importantly, be inspired to live a life with intention. Let's dive in. If you can believe it, life was flipped completely upside down 4 years ago this time. In the US, things shut down March 2020. Insanity. And so I was like, let's do this. Let's reflect. Let's see. Let's get these gems and how this pandemic really can be used as a tool to shift. And that sometimes things are a bit delayed with the realizations from large, massive events like this. That's what we're diving into today. But I also want you to know your input matters. Share your thoughts and actively shape the podcast direction. And it's your chance to get this experience elevated. When you join the texting group by texting JOIN, JOIN, to the number 877-509-1404, you get to be a part of shaping what Fumble Forward looks like. Let me know your thoughts, giving feedback. And then you get to enjoy the perks of being at the forefront of Fumble Forward, because as you can see from just even the kickoff of season 2, something new keeps coming every single episode. And I want you to be a part of it. And with input, with thinking about all the changes that's happened, I can't help but think about, wow, 4 years ago, everything as we knew it really flipped on its head and forced us to have a moment of reflection of what do we want our life to look like, and realizing that a lot of things were imperfect, and that was a very uncomfortable, hard pill to swallow. And in a lot of ways, the pandemic was the ultimate weight of sorts, and did a lot of revealing for us, showed us what a weight can look like and how it can really be what feels like out of our control, really out of our control. And I think one thing that was so powerful for the pandemic for me was that it wasn't a stop, it was a pause. Take a beat. Do you like that? Do you hate that? Do you care about that? Why do you do that? It was a pause. And that was a really beautiful, beautiful, beautiful gift. A pause. And a chance to say, do I like the direction my life is going? Do I like my job? Do I like my home? Do I even like the city that I'm living in? Do I like my body? Do I like the relationships I have in my life? It was a time to be honest. You got time, which is the hardest thing to get when you need it. And better yet, it felt like you weren't missing anything by taking this time to have these very necessary questions answered, because no one was doing anything. And that's huge, right? Because ain't nobody want to have FOMO. Ain't nobody want to miss the party, the trip, the graduation, the wedding, those kind of things. But also, the pandemic was a weight that had this immense amount of emotions that flooded you. I know for me, I got hit with so many emotions during the pandemic in a way that I think probably most waiting seasons are not going to hit you like that. But the pandemic hit me front, back, left side, up, down, any way that was free. I was smacked. I was hit with emotions of cheer, dread, shock, and confusion, being impressed, all the different type of things. And so I just want to take this moment as I'm thinking and reflecting on 4 years out from the start of all this. Where are you at? Have you checked in with yourself after a traumatic event? Like I think most of us could say there was a good level of trauma associated with this pandemic in the midst of absolutely beautiful things coming out of it. Right. And just, I want to bring you in. I want to give you your moment of pause without the fear that you are missing anything going on, to be like, hey, where are we with the things that we reflected on during the pandemic? Do I feel good, at peace, content, joyful, eager, impressed with where we are since we had those difficult conversations? And take it as another moment to start making some changes, putting some actions behind the thoughts. I know over here, I talk a lot about the thoughts, the mindset and stuff. At the end of the day, ain't none of that matters if it does not translate into action. So this is not only think about it, and also put those actions in place. Give yourself a chance to be and live the person that you want, because it can be done. And this pandemic, 4 years past, it's a whole undergraduate degree, right? We were freshmen when we started the pandemic. We seniors, we better rock across the stage and like, what do we want to present? What do we want to show when we're walking across the stage? When that moment comes after the graduation, we're taking our pictures. What do we want to look like? How do we want to feel like? When people are asking you, what are you doing next? Having a great, confident line that you can tell loved ones and strangers about. That's what this is about. That's what this episode is about. And so as much as I'm telling you to do it, I'm going to do it for myself, because it's been an insane time to be a human living on this planet, and absolutely been an insane time for being a person living in the United States. And so we're going into a crazy year. We're getting to the end of Q1, and this is an election year in so many places. This is a leap year. There is just a lot going on. And so this is your moment. Take a beat, take the reflections, and then do the actions to align, because the pandemic was wild, y'all. It was insane. It was insane. And it's okay to say that. And so if you needed permission, or better yet, if you needed an invite, this is your invite. All right, let's dive in. What am I looking forward to? I am looking forward to having some time to plan whatever I want to plan. I am in this mood where I want to set up some local activities to do. I'm also thinking about going to see family. So I'm just working on getting those in place and finalized, and just soaking it all up. It's going to be kind of crazy because it's March, and so it's spring break in Florida. So I think I need to increase my patience too, because it's not the Floridians that are crazy. It's all you tourists that come here crazy with these expectations that Florida's about to be lit. But I digress. Reading. I am wrapping up with Leviticus. I feel like I'm in the home stretch now. It's still about the same, but not every chapter is going to be popping, right? That's just what it is. And then if you have a friend who is still just has battle wounds, still on crutches, still recovering from the surgery that is the pandemic, COVID-19, share this with them in hopes that it will help them reframe their perspective on COVID-19 pandemic and just be able to have an anticipation in the best way for what's next. And make sure to subscribe to this podcast so you can join this journey that we're on, because it's over here where we are really growing, making the effort to understand ourselves better. Absolutely. And I just thank you so much for every time you take out time out of your day to listen to this podcast, to be a part of what's happening here, and that we're growing, we're doing new things, and I want you to be a part of all those exciting things. So don't forget to join the texting group, and the details are always in the show notes. And like always, until next time. Look at you. You stayed with me to the end. You're the best. Good thing is, it doesn't have to stop here. Dive into another episode and continue the ride.